So now we're going to look at how to play the notes that's in exercises 1 and 2, and if we have time in this lesson we'll go on to exercise 3. I mentioned in the first video there about just ensuring that obviously the hand is now in the correct position with the gap between the wrist and the strings. We've got our thumb, as you can see, just pushed it slightly forward so my fingers can walk inside with my free strokes, thumb resting on string 6, and now we're going to play those notes. You can see that note E is of course in the top space, so that's how we identify note E, and always, again, from the previous lesson, just always look to see, first of all, line or space. And then as the book progresses, you'll build up which note lies in which line and which space. So we're going to play Easy E, exercise 1, with the walking fingers, resting thumb on string 6 and stroking the strings with free strokes, bringing the fingers inwards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, or E, 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 E. And you can see the last two notes there had holes in. The first notes were crotchets, the black dots with the stem, and these notes have the hole in the middle, so minims, they last for 2. Min-nim, that's how I teach the children. Minims, 2 beats. They just ring on, so you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just let them ring on. Bang in the middle, exercise 2, you can see that it's in the middle line, bang, the bang in the middle line, and I'm just going to use IM again. You could use MI if you wish to. I'll count and then I'll change to note names, so it gives you both options for when you're learning to play yourself. So we'll start off with B, going 1, 2, 3, 4, then B, 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 then B for 2, B for 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got different ways of counting or saying the note names to help me just reinforce how to count and how to say them. I think it's well worth touching on another point here about the comfort feeling of actually touching the string, touch and play. You'll find this in some of the great study books that have been written, and it's just well worth thinking about how your finger touches the string before playing. So even when I'm coming in for a free stroke, for example with my index finger on string 1, I will touch and play, touch and play, touch and play, touch and play. Now, what you can hear straight away is if I play 1, touch and play, touch, the sound's deadened, it's gone. So that doesn't matter because it still gives me a good feeling of touching and playing. But when you get comfortable with touch and play, touch and play, touch, you'll find that time that the string is deadened is very, very small, and eventually it becomes imperceptible. You won't hear it. But you still have the nice feeling of touching the string and playing. So your fingers aren't coming from a big distance and then hoping they're going to hit the string. We just bring them from a shorter distance, touch and play. So now let's introduce left hand notes on the guitar. We're going to play, learn how to play some of these frets straight away. Rather than just do across all the strings, I'll introduce the strings fairly quickly as the exercises progress. But it's always nice to try and get some form of tune playing straight away. So notes on string 2, the B string of course, we have an open string B as shown in the neck diagram, and then fret 1 is first fret on the second string, and that's note C. So let's think about how we're going to play that first before we learn to read it in the music. What I do, I take my left hand, I form a C shape like that. I turn it upside down, so I've got this kind of C shape with my fingers and thumb there. I turn it upside down and I bring my hand, I'll just pop my thumb over the top. You can see now my thumb is at the back of the guitar neck. My fingers are still in this C shape, so I've got my fingertip heading down to fret 1 of string 2. I'll show you where my thumb is. I'll show you on the overhead, so you can see that it's halfway up the guitar neck, halfway to 2/3. I've got a nice gap between here, so I'm not hugging the guitar, because that again limits the ability of the fingers to reach and curl around to go on their fingertips. So create the nice gap between the guitar there, side of the neck, and that finger. What I'm doing now, I've got my hand in that C shape, as I said. I'm bringing my fingertip down, and you can see that it's close to the fret wire, so it's just behind the fret wire, pushing down, and all you need to do is play that note C, buzzy at the moment, so not enough pressure, and then just put a bit of pressure, and then the note appears. If it's too weak, get the buzzy sound, so I just press down a little bit more. And the best place to press is just behind the fret wire, not on the fret wire, because you're still going to get a buzzy sound there, but a much better sound behind. So that's how we do our left hand, very simple, C shape, turn it around, thumb halfway up the neck, the gap between the side of the neck and the palm of the hand, and curling the fingers and bringing them down, fingertips, edge of fret. Note C is in the space above B. So you can see in the music there, it's in the space above B, it's the second space down, note C. I've introduced 3 beats in the bar now. In the first 2 songs we had 4 beats in the bar, the 2 numbers, 4/4, 4 crotchet beats in the bar. We now have 3. So that's the only difference. It's just introducing how many beats you can have in a bar, and we'll get that all the time in music. It's just a way of emphasising a different note or a different beat. So this one will go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we start off with 4 Bs. Remember, right hand thumb. Prepare left hand finger 1. Okay, we call them finger 1 on the left hand to be prepared to play. 1, 2, 3. Then Cs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A dotted minim there, that lasts for 3 beats. A minim with a dot after it adds half of the 2 beats, 1 makes 3. Let's try that again. B, 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 C, 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 B, 2, 3. B, 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 C, 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 B, 2, 3. Then we go up to E, as you can see. E, 2, 3, C, C, 2, 3, B, 2, 3, B, 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 C, 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 B, 2, 3. What you can see there straight away was that by counting or saying the note names will just help you force you read the music to keep you going and keep you in time. You can go much slower than that if you wish. There's no need to rush. You can go at this tempo. 1, 2, 3. Prepare yourself. 1, 2, 3. As long as you kind of try to keep going best you can, it will help develop your reading. In the next lesson, we're going to introduce bass notes to help us get a much fuller sound and play our first song that sounds a little bit more like a song that we'd enjoy to play.